Hey, good morning. Welcome to Oasis Live. Today, we're going to be talking about a very sensitive but important subject. And this is the subject of breaking the toxic identity of the independent woman. In other words, the soft life. I chose to wear pink today. Pink is a color that I like, but I don't love, but it's soft, it's delicate, it's intimate. And so I chose to wear pink today just so that we can talk about this soft life. Now, you say, you may say, some may not. What's wrong with being independent? Absolutely nothing. Sometimes being independent can have a negative connotation. I think about when I was growing up, and I was often called bossy. That was the word that people used to my face. Now, did I like it? Never, because I didn't see myself as bossy. I saw myself as maybe authoritative, influential, what's some other words, assertive, maybe, even never aggressive but assertive. In other words, I was that person that could always rally people together and say, hey, come on, let's do this, come on, let's do that. But people always called me bossy. They called me that to my face, they called me that behind my back. But really what I was developing into was, number one, a leader, and number two, an independent woman. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with being independent. I was single until I was 40 years old. I got married when I was 40 years old. I had my oldest daughter when I was 28. So I was already an adult, already independent, living on my own, and all of those other things. Independent as opposed to dependent, waiting on someone else to do things for me, waiting on someone else to pay my bills, or depending on someone else to pay my bills. I wasn't dependent. I really, honestly, if the truth be told, I really kind of became independent as a teenager. But independent is not bad. We find the need for independence looks like strength, self-sufficiency, autonomy, in other words, making your own decisions. But I want to break the stigma of independence. I also want to break the stigma of dependence. When children are born, or when babies are born, they are dependent. They can't do for themselves. They can't verbalize, I need food, I'm wet, I'm sleepy, um, I'm bored. They can't verbalize those things. So they depend on others to determine what it is that they need, what it is that they desire, what it is that they're feeling. However, I want to take you right smack dab in the middle of dependence on this side and independence on this side. I want to take you to a place of interdependence. Interdependence is the perfect marrying of dependence and independence. And so interdependence means that we have a mutual relationship. We have a mutual dependence on one another. Dependence is typically looked at as, um, I can't do anything for myself, versus independent, whereas I'm doing everything for myself. I don't need you. I don't need your help. I don't need anything from anybody. And where does that take us to? Oftentimes, as single mothers and as single people, period, it takes us to a place of being hard. It takes us to a place of being rigid. Now, let me say that that was my story. As a single person who had had some kind of issues and trauma past based on the separation and divorce of my parents, I became a little bit rigid. I became a little bit hard. And that's never where I wanted to be because I wasn't raised that way. But life circumstances, life's pain, life's trauma and life's frustration took me a place of being rigid and just believing that I had to figure it out on my own, believing that I was in this world by myself and that I didn't have any help. Now, mind you, I said that was my belief. That was not my truth. My truth was that there were lots of people that were willing to be in an interdependent relationship with me and supporting me. But because of the things that had gone on in my life, I kind of pushed people away. People were loving on me and trying to love on me and trying to show me love and trying to show me support. And I was pushing people away because I was feeling like, no, all that's going to happen is that I'm going to get hurt yet again. Wasn't the truth. It was my thinking. And so, as we're moving into adulthood, teenagehood, and those are our formative years when we should be being taught how to be critical thinkers, how to problem solve, how to move into a place of kind of figuring some things out on our own. Without going into a deep psychological discussion about the stages of development, that's one of those stages that's critically important. And during those stages, that's where we find out how to make decisions on our own. So, as I said, I became, as a teenager and as a young adult, and even as a single parent, all the way up to from the age of 28 to the age of 40, it was rough because I felt like I had to do it all myself. Now, of course, I had accomplished a lot of things. By the time I got married, I had a master's degree. I was a twice over homeowner. My daughter was doing very well in private school. There were a lot of things that on the outside I looked like I was accomplishing. Now, this is my transparent story. I can tell on myself. However, on the inside, I was broken. On the inside, I was rigid. I remember my best friend's husband, they were dating at the time. And well, after they got married, he finally told me the story. He said, when I first met you, you were so hard. And I was like, me? Hard? He said, yeah, you were hard. Now, a lot of times we can't see what other people see. We see ourselves just putting one foot in front of the other, making it happen, doing what we need to do. But he saw me as being hard and rigid. He said, you never smiled. You accomplished things, but you never smiled. You never seemed to have fun. You never had any joy. And I was surprised because, of course, I had lived all my life with people telling me, you're bossy, you're demanding, you're this, you're that. Now, even at that time, I had a very high intense job. I was, in administration with the state of Illinois, in charge of over 100 people on different levels. And it required me to make critical thinking skills or critical decisions every day of my life. And it was tough. And one of the things that he said to me is that I knew what I saw on the outside wasn't who you really were, because I saw how my wife, who was my fiance at the time, these are his words, I saw how much she loved you and how much she cared about you and how much she stuck by you and how much she supported you. He said, so I knew it was something more in there than what I was seeing on the outside. What he saw was me being an independent woman. What he wanted to see or needed to see is that not only was I not that independent, because I wasn't that hard, I wasn't that guarded, I wasn't that, all of those things that he saw on the outside, but what I was broken. And so, why do I take you through that long explanation? Because we all need interdependence. We need to be able to marry our dependent self of being totally reliant on someone else, to our independent self saying, I don't need anybody. I can do this myself. We need to marry those two. We need to bring those two together and interlock them. That's where the soft life comes in. We need each other. We need mutual relationships. Now, I'm a big proponent of being a part of a supportive group. That's one of the reasons why I started the Single Moms Hub. Now, am I doing a commercial for the Single Moms Hub? Maybe I am, because I believe that everybody needs community. Whether you're single, whether you're a single parent, whether you're in a relationship, everybody needs a community. And so the Single Moms Hub is just that. It's where single moms come together to be in community, to talk about things that are related to each other, to being a single parent. Now, do we always walk in a room full of people we don't know and fully trust them? Absolutely not. That is not the idea. But the idea is that coming into community, and when I say the word community, every time I say it, I think of come into unity with other like-minded people. Come into unity with people who have some of the same situations. Come into unity with people who have some of the same struggles that you may have. I love community. And so I want to invite you all who um, are in need of a community, in need of learning what that interdependence is like. Those of you all who need to know, hey, there's somebody out there that support me. There's somebody out there that can talk me off the ledge when my teenage child is acting a nut. Somebody that can show me where the resources are that I need. Interdependence, mutual dependence on each other. It's a give, it's a take. Sometimes in relationship or community, if you will, it's a 20-80. It's a 70-30. It's a 50-50. I don't know who, I can't remember who it was. It said talking about 70-30, talking about 60-40, but I'm talking about a 50-50 love where we come together, where we help each other. Now, even though I'm no longer a single mother, I am still a mother. I still need community. I still need an interdependent relationship. I still need the soft life because I'm a business owner. And sometimes business owners have to make very unpopular decisions as it relates to people that work around them or people that work with them. Sometimes I need somebody to tell me, that was tough, but it's going to be okay. And so, Single Moms Hub, first and third Saturdays, it's a community. Anybody within that community can spark a conversation. We meet on Zoom at 11:30 on the first and third Saturdays. If you're interested in becoming a part of the Single Moms Hub, if you're interested in being a part of a community of like-minded people who are willing and able to engage in an interdependent relationship with you, come on and join us. Come on and jump on. We don't get in each other's business. We're not messy. We have ground rules. We also, the Single Moms Hub, also have a very active Facebook page. I invite you to come in, join the Single Moms Hub, click on the link in the Facebook page, answer those questions, and get involved with other women. We're doing some great things. We started our Spanish lessons last night. Great time. So we're doing things that we're going to learn how to crochet. We're going to learn how to knit. We're going to learn things together so that we can have some things that are common to each other. I love community. What can I say? Join us on this journey to further our interdependence. This is the Oasis Live. See you in a couple of weeks. Join the Single Moms Hub. Hey, if you'd like to donate to the Oasis Empowerment Zone, we are a nonprofit organization that's a 501c3 tax exempt organization, and all donations are tax deductible to the extent of the IRS law. Our Cash App is there. If you don't have Cash App, no worries. Text me on the number that you see on the screen, and I'll give you other ways that you can donate. We have PayPal, we have Zelle, we have all of those ways in which you can donate. Love and blessings to you until we see you again on the third Wednesday. Love and blessings. You brought in Oasis, right in the middle of a day.